Hello, my name is Mary Fuston, and my group and I created a design challenge lesson geared for fifth graders. I would like to give a brief overview of what is contained in this video before we get started. First, the ISTE standards that this lesson plan meets. Then you'll hear the design challenge problem statement that we give to the students. Next, I will show the platforms that we chose to have the students utilize during this project, and I'll give you an example that can be created from each one. I will then share the launch via Google Slides that we created and go over some of the explore phases in the lesson plan, and then we'll end with the assessment assignment. So we're going to move fast, but I will include all of the links necessary at the bottom of the video. So let's get started. This lesson plan meets many of the ISTE standards, including 1.3 Knowledge Constructor, 1.4 Innovative Designer, and 1.7 Global Collaborator. Knowing and growing your students' digital skills in today's technological time is of great importance, and this lesson is designed to help you and your students become familiar with two technology platforms, SketchUp and Tinkercad. Before I get into these programs, let me explain the premises of this design challenge. I believe we are headed into a more inclusive society, but we are certainly far from ideal, especially if you are handicapped or have specific needs that are not being addressed. This led me to consider how disabled and special needs children experience their school play environment, and also to consider the perspective of general education students toward their peers with diverse needs. So I thought, why not create a lesson plan that first figures out what students already know about inclusivity and how they feel about it. I would recommend having this discussion with your class prior to delving into this lesson plan because you might find that it is not a good fit for your class. Let me introduce the lesson by first offering the design challenge problem statement that we offered to the children. We told the children, we want you to design an inclusive playground that addresses the limitations and barriers often found in traditional playgrounds. Consider how your design can accommodate children with physical disabilities, sensory sensitivities, and diverse needs. Your playground should provide equal opportunities for play, encourage social interaction, and promote a sense of belonging for all children. Think about innovative play structures, sensory elements, and inclusive features that can make your playground a welcoming and accessible space for everyone. Your design should prioritize inclusivity, creativity, and fun. Based on the initial discussion on inclusivity, decide if this design challenge lesson is a good fit for your students. Our lesson is designed to include the entire fifth grade, and our initial discussion before the launch is an organized assembly that invites members of our school with special needs to address their own personal issues when it comes to barriers on the playground. Their parents would be invited to speak as well. The assembly is intended to be short, sweet, and to the point, lasting no more than 20 to 30 minutes, and allowing the fifth graders at the end an opportunity to ask questions and get their thoughts out. Immediately after the assembly, back in their classrooms, classes would then discuss what they learned with their peers. We created a Google slide to launch the design challenge and initiate class discussion before heading into the explore time. And I'll show that to you now. It begins with a YouTube video. It has the content learning goal. It has an introduction story, a problem statement, and finally questions that will be asked in a group setting. And I'll post this link as well. So at this point, we've already spent about an hour on this lesson already, so we broke it up into a week-long project, spending about an hour each day. Please be advised that the students need to already be familiar with Tinkercad and SketchUp, or else you'll need to make time to introduce them to these technology platforms in order to complete this design challenge. If your students are not already familiar with these platforms, I recommend that you send your students home with the links and ask them to learn one feature on each platform, and then take about 20 minutes the next day and give them an opportunity to share with the class what they've learned. There are also instructional videos on YouTube that they can watch to get started, and I will go ahead and post those as well. So Tinkercad is a free web-based tool that allows users to create 3D designs. It offers a user-friendly interface and various design elements that can be used to construct 3D structures. So you have basic shapes. You can drag them onto your board. You can make your, you can really manipulate these these shapes that you bring on here. You can kind of have them do whatever you want, so it's pretty awesome. There's some hardware. If your kids are into that type thing, you can have them, manipulate these structures to create actual pieces, which is pretty awesome. And then they have some everyday objects, and you can also search. You can search for specific things if you want to maybe look for a slide. They have many tools on here, which is pretty awesome. Okay, and here is a let me flip this around. There we go. It's a swing meant for a wheelchair. This was built on Tinkercad, just to give you an example of what you can build on there. And then this is an actual playground that was built using Tinkercad. And they show trees and all types of different things, so you get a good idea. So SketchUp is a popular 3D modeling software that offers a free version for educational purposes, and it provides more advanced features and a larger library of pre-built 3D components, which can be helpful for designing detailed playground structures. And so you can draw your own shapes. You can create your own shapes like this. And over here you have your materials. So if you want to use brick or concrete, there we go, or specific colors, they have designs, they have water features. If you want to put wood on your playground, there's a lot you can do with this platform as well. So this is another design created using SketchUp. And then here's a playground built with the same. Oh, and then finally some monkey bars. So all of those can be built using SketchUp. Both Tinkercad and SketchUp allow students to digitally create and manipulate objects, helping them visualize their designs before they are brought to life with actual materials. So when my group and I decided the design plan for this lesson, as I mentioned, we decided to break it up into a week-long project, working up to about an hour each day. Keep in mind that you can make this a longer or a shorter project depending on your class goals. We had 2 phases of test runs or iteration processes for the students. The first test run was to have a group of volunteer parents of special needs children who agreed to take the children's designs home and give them a look over. The parents would provide feedback to the students, what works and what doesn't work, and offer advice to move forward and words of encouragement. Students would be given time back in the classroom to go over their designs in their group and reassess, refine, or improve their playground structures. After this, the students would then have a second opportunity to share their designs, this time with their whole class, getting peer feedback, and then be given time to work in their groups once again to recreate or polish their design creation. And as a final step, students will have the opportunity to share their playground creations with all the other 5th grade classes. My group decided to break this activity into 2 days, about an hour each day, and allow opportunity for students to ask questions and offer peer feedback and also get that feedback as well. From there, you can choose to have class discussions or a written reflection of the children's experiences. Our group designed this project at an opportune time because we found an opportunity to enter our class's creations in a contest where winners could potentially have their play structure built at their school, which is exciting. So participation of organizations, of course, will vary, but my group found the Inclusive Play Design Challenge through landscape structures. And again, I'll post that as well. And for the assessment, I thought having a 1-page reflection based on their experience would be a great way to assess how they learned and what they learned and how they felt about everything. So for this design challenge, you could use older grades or younger grades and tailor it to the unique dynamics of your own class. And the design challenge is intended to meet multiple ISTE standards, offer technological influence and practice, and encourage collaboration, empathy, peer feedback, and reflection among students, and also extend and spread awareness of inclusivity. So I want to thank you for your time. I hope that you found this design challenge beneficial for you in your classroom, and I hope you have a wonderful day.